Jesus Freak here. So, I mentioned earlier today that today was when my friend was available to drive me around to the other side of town to do my shopping. Turns out that her car's on the fritz. And not just talking, one thing's gone or another thing's gone. There's a whole bunch of things that are flashing error messages, not working right. So, and her brakes been acting up. So I was about to say, after we got back into town, I said, if it'd be better, I'd just grab my groceries and see if I can make it home on my own. And then, you don't have to worry about me. Of course, whenever I say, hey, don't worry about me, I got this under control, or don't worry about me, I can handle this. It has precisely the opposite effect on people. So, at least by that point, I had done what I had to do, what I went out to do. I paid a couple bills that I had to pay up. Groceries are really, from my perspective, secondary to that. It's like, well, I'm already gonna be out. I'm already gonna be there. So take care of it. And it's like, yeah, I know I shouldn't really be doing this stuff on a Sunday. It's like, when you're dependent on others, you gotta exist on their timetable. So, hopefully, she can get her car problems dealt with. But I'm home. We did wind up deciding to cut things off early. It's, the longer you're faffing around, because you want to wait until 4 o'clock so you can go meet, you can go have me meet Buck over at Buck's Pizzeria, like we do every month. Well, let's be frank, we're faffing around the streets, and it's you got a death trap on 4 wheels. Do you want to have to worry about both you and me that whole time? So we just aborted plans, and she dropped me off at home. Now, wasn't really much that I specifically went out to get. stuff like this that I like to have one every year around Christmas. Just because I'm like, well, I can get one close to home, but probably cost me more at a drugstore than at a supermarket. And these are only about the size of a muffin instead of being these big, gigantic cakes. I'm like, why should I buy a whole panettone for one person? I can get one of these, it's about the size of a muffin. So, when I left this morning, usually when I go to church, I come right back. So I'm sure it was weird for Angel that I left when I did, and, I was out all day. So I come back home, and there she is right at the door. And as soon as I open the door into my apartment from the stairway, she's like, "Wow," because you know how cats are. And when I put away all my perishables and went to sit down, she came up to me again looking for attention. I mean, cat's gonna cat, huh? Anyway, my current status is I got a doctor's appointment on Wednesday morning, and I'm going to be in Buffalo. And it's basically just to follow up on a checkup I had a couple months ago. Now, I could probably get a cab paid for me by Medicaid. But I'm like, you know what? If you really want to be honest with me, taking care of the transportation my damn self, getting there, take a bus and get there, regular public transportation is honestly easier. And $5 really isn't that much. So that's how I'm going to handle that. I'll probably record a few more videos for Sunday mornings over the next few days. We'll see how those come out. Anyway. Now, in unrelated news, a friend of mine and I both had ideas to come up with sort of a neo vintage type computer based on a specific CPU. And he knows a bit more about hardware. I know a bit more about software. So I had come up with ideas. I'm like, I just want to make sure this comes out, something realistic and practical for what I want. But I've had a couple things, and I'm like, I think my first computer was a PC Junior. In fact, I had a couple pocket computers before that. Although honestly, those things are more like glorified calculators. And I had said, what if I were to make a pocket computer idea? And so we're going to see how that comes out. I can't guarantee anything's going to come of it, but we've been bouncing ideas off each other. Might be seeing more retro freak stuff. Anyway, Jesus freak out.